Yo! Okie dokie. Crash! Okay. So this is our first ever patron voted stream where I put together a list of 5 games and had our Patreon subscribers vote on which game they would like me to play. They've voted for Fault Milestone One, which is a visual novel, but yeah, I have no idea what the story is or anything like that. I have been interested in playing this one for a long time. I don't know how long I've had it in my Steam library, so I am excited to finally get around to it. So I'm happy that the patrons agreed. So let's go ahead and start with the prologue, because I think I accidentally skipped that when I opened up the game. Seems like a sad start so far. That's good. I do all the voices for the text? No, I'm not that skilled, unfortunately. I would stumble over every word. Let's see. It's all about stargazing. I wasn't looking at the stars. Attachment, envy, delusion. Oh, some characters. We're starting this game off with a death, eh? People need to encounter something much bigger than themselves to fully understand true compassion. In the time of yore, humankind had discovered mana, a natural occurring energy source that long pulsed throughout the crust of the world. Humankind utilized mana from the land to craft and create any and all. The art of manifesting mana was known as mana cravte, and the practitioners of this art became known as mana crafters. That's an impossible word to say. A hunter could use pyrocrafted to kill and cook their catch or quarry, and the apothecary could use the aquacrafted to increase the potency of their healing potions. A carpenter could use terracrafted to strengthen the foundation of a home. A farmer could use aerocrafted to improve crop output by manipulating the wind. Seems like a powerful thing. It's magic, right? And I don't know how you pronounce that. There also existed mana crafte, which were hereditary, unique only to certain individuals. The Path Down. The Path Down uses mana as a medium to transfer the memories and experiences of the present ruler to the future heir to the throne. That's interesting. Humankind would deem those in possession of hereditary mana crafte to be monarchs. The propagation of the old king's wisdom through Path Down was evidence enough to cement a country's reputation as a formidable Minecraft monarchy. Centuries ago, hell-bent on expanding the sphere of influence, Minecraft monarchies started the period of exploration. Even the great seas were no match for their ambitions. The research of the Minecraft for large-scale warfare exploded, fueled by the need for conquest. The populace's survival drove one monarchy to expansion. Stagnant economy for the reason for another. Ambition drew many others. For the few Minecraft monarchies that successfully survived, a countless number of lives were sacrificed to maintain power. In the present day, the development of mana-facilitated communication revolutionized an already altered world. This form of communication was known as Comcravte. People were no longer restricted by the pace of couriers to carry written messages. Long-distance communication became accessible to the masses. Education and knowledge became abundant. Secularism grew in popularity among the general public. Is this a commentary on technology in modern times? Enlightenment was abundant in this new era ushered forth by Comcravte. Rughzenahide, renowned pacifist kingdom of San Adrazija, further prevailed the Comcravte's convenience. For 9 generations, Rughzenahide prospered from perpetual pacifism, but even the wisdom of the old kings could not prevent tragedy from befalling the kingdom of peace and order. Those were some names right there. Tragedy, which would ultimately end peace that was established over 60 years ago. Okay. Oh. Blood flying everywhere now? Yikes. War is hell. Willkommen to Rughzenahide. I wonder if these are actual terms, like Kravte. I don't know. Maybe it's Russian or something. Rughzenahide Castle, passageway to the Sky Terrace. Sparks continue to dance through the air as small silhouettes ascended the spiral staircase. A girl. First, to the Sky Terrace. Twin tails. Spirals. She's a mage of some kind. The first of the attackers to reach the Sky Terrace on the roof of the castle was a young girl, no more than 12 or 13 years of age. She quickly scans her surroundings and gets into a defensive pose. Holding her breath, she surveys the area for a while. According to her prior intelligence, the Sky Terrace was completely deserted. Except for one. Passed down successor of the country of Rughzenahide, Selphine Rughzenahide. Show yourself. You know there's nowhere for you to hide now. The girl's shout reverberated throughout the empty terrace. There was no one around, but she maintained her guard. These were the actions of someone who's done it a countless number of times. She moved towards the center of the Sky Terrace with a mechanical efficiency which betrayed her small and delicate appearance. Is there really no one here? Maybe the intel was wrong. Xian, can you hear me? Xian, if you can hear me, respond. Is she in the middle of a fight? She's a cutie. She's a pseudo blonde, so she's alright in my book. No one's here. The girl lets down her guard. Lets her guard down, rather, and takes a deep, long breath. Further in the terrace was a balcony that also functioned as a viewing deck of sorts. It was designed to overlook the town around the castle, and there a large, wooden dining table was situated in the middle of it. The table was furnished with an ornately woven tablecloth. Fancy. Candles. The place is on fire, though. It was surrounded with heavy, solid wooden chairs. and atop it were numerous intricately made ornaments. The table and all its amenities were works of art. Every object, from the dining table to the decorations strategically placed throughout the sky terrace, screamed of wealth. Something crosses the girl's mind, and she sets the chair at the head of the table upright and sits her small frame on it. She appeared. For a moment, she's taken aback by it all. It was truly the height of luxury. The view she had from the head of the table, having grown up in meager circumstances, was impressive beyond her imagination. Oh no! So uncouth! Slam. In the display of terrible manners, she rests both her own feet on the table and reclines against the chair, slowly closing her eyes. There's blood. She couldn't help but laugh at the disparity between the situation and the place where she had grown up. Whose seat was this? Under what lucky star would you have to be born under to be granted the privilege to seat yourself on a chair like this? Well, not that it mattered. This chair was now no one's, just like how this crumbling castle was to be no one's as well. I'm sure it'd feel wonderful if I could have had a meal on a table like this. Yeah, those are some nice legs. From the balcony created to look upon the town below, the girl gazes at the townscape set ablaze. The perfect view, just perfect. Ha! After her rather mindless soliloquy, she gets up off her seat and then... Ah! Oh. An even more blood-covered girl appears. Another girl appeared from the door that she had broken through just earlier. Miss Mary Shell. Maria Shell? The girl addressed as Maria Shell waved her hand in a yo pose as if she was joking. Coco, you like chair? Sitting? The same girl posed a question to her partner in a rather broken speech. No, not really. As always, she doesn't have a shred of tension in her. So Coco thought, keeping it to herself. Mary Shell. In terms of age, she and Coco were not far apart. And in contrast to Coco's rather belligerent look, she looked to be a sweet little girl who had no place in a miserable battlefield like this. Background moves. That's cool. However, a great many have been deceived by her innocent looks. Their blood that now stained her dress certainly stood out. I'm surprised you can just waltz around like that with all this going on. An imaginary question mark appeared atop Mary Shell. She didn't understand why Coco was so astonished. No reason to rush. Of course you'd rush. Just walking around with all this going on is weird. The castle was filled with the smell of blood and smoke. Screams and explosions continued to roar throughout. Despite the cacophony going on all around them, Maria Shell simply stood there, oblivious to it all. Already, almost done. No point running. Well, that is true, but... Coco was at a loss for words when faced with that simple retort. She not here? Ah, no, she's not. Can we even rely on Sion's info? Sion, reliable. Even if wrong, we follow. Sister's borders? You mean orders. Orders. Yo. Rather than communicating with words, she struck the same hand-waving pose from earlier. That was one of Mary Shell's ways of expressing herself. Still, if they aren't here, where could they be? I'm pretty sure we searched everywhere. Plan B. Manual search? Ugh, what a pain. The sheer size of this place makes my head spin. Funny face. Oh, leave me alone. Fine, plan B then. Let's stick to the plan and take one wing each. I'll be on the east wing. What's wrong? We look? Yes? Isabel's shadow soldiers? I'll be fine. There's only 150 of them. We've already taken care of most of the rear line soldiers, so I doubt we'll run into anyone troublesome. Hurry. What is it? Overconfidence, your weakness. Her voice was soft, but her words carried weight. Everything going too well. Don't forget that. I won't. Coco unconsciously stands at attention. Nothing wrong in being careful, that's all. But that was scary. She suddenly flips into serious mode and all. Other people probably wouldn't understand the sudden change in Marichel's attitude. Putting thoughts and emotions into words is a weak point of hers. Logical, seeing that she only just recently began remembering her vocabulary. However, even though her vocabulary is lacking, she is in no way unintelligent or unable to grasp the situation at hand. Coco, being her partner, understood this very well. Hello? Hello? Coco, can you hear me? Ah. Xian, yeah, I hear you. How's it going there? You done fighting? There's, the third floor downwards has all been committed. As long as people don't suddenly start raining down from the sky, no one else should be able to get into the castle. Oh, and get a load of this. Really, the last two guys I just killed? They were such pushovers, it kind of ruined the moment. Like I get more of a thrill from dreaming in an afternoon nap. These people sound like peaches. Coming from someone who personally said she'd just keep guard, can't really complain if you didn't volunteer to head up the front lines instead. So how are things going on your end? Ignoring me, eh? Alright, this place is totally empty. You've got some explaining to do here. You sure the princess is in the Sky Terrace? Absolutely. If she isn't around the balcony, then she's got to be somewhere on the top floor. Look harder, why don't you? Ah, looking around is a huge pain. It's so tiring. You sure are lazy for someone so young. I didn't want to hear that from someone who volunteered to shore up our defense. Oh, quit complaining and just get to looking. We're already on the home stretch. Get off my back. Really though, this whole thing sure was a breeze, eh? Rughzenahide is the center of the alliance and all. Is it supposed to fall this quickly? This easily? Sounds like a trap. Well, Miss Milano has planned it out this much, and she's even taking part in it too. Let's be honest here. It's probably mostly because of the ladder than anything else. What? You mean we all could have gotten this far without the help of the shadow soldiers? No, that's not what I meant. Considering Miss Milano, I bet she could probably take down an entire country or two. That's impressive. If I had to describe her with a single word, it'd be cheater. Okay, less impressive. You've got a point. Anyways, I'll get back to committing the entire castle's interior. Good luck with the search. Yeah, see ya. Between the two of them, why isn't there anyone who's feeling any more tense than I am? And now I've totally lost my drive to. Damn it. Just as she finished her call. Whoop. Oh. Uh-oh. It was made to prioritize lightness, but metal is still metal. A swing from an old sword could certainly nick it, but there was no way it could slice through it so cleanly. What was that? There's something stuck to the wall. A transparent knife. Glass? Blade of ice? Or perhaps some kind of illusion using Kravte. In any case, it doesn't change the fact that there was some kind of unknown threat. Who goes there? Show yourself. Ooh. Hello there. Out from the darkness emerged yet another girl. One of their retainers, perhaps. She was wearing a formal-looking outfit with her entire body wrapped in a purple cloak, also bloodstained. However, what first caught Coco's attention was the badge shining brightly on her collar. That badge served as proof of the individual's rank as a crafter. Dual. The title of Dual Crafter is only granted to those who have mastered 2 of the 4 types of mana, Pyro, Aqua, Terra, or Arrow. But the girl standing before Coco could not have been more than 20 years of age. She was likely in her late teens. To become a dual crafter at 18, 19 years of age was quite a remarkable feat. Ritona Reinvashta. She is the last descendant of the Reinvashta family, which has served as the royal family's guardians for generation upon generation. But Coco had no way of knowing that. Where'd you come from? What is your objective? Why are you going after Princess Selphine? Let's just get one thing straight here. This attack of yours is completely in our control. Whether you all live or die, that's up to us to decide. Do you understand? Unimpressed? The only thing you can do is stare back at us and answer every question we've got. Oh, well, if you want to die, then that's another story. Very well. Ah, right. Seeing as how you're dressed, that means you're one of the servants here, right? You happen to know where Selphine is? And what if I do? Serious? Alright, I'll cut you a deal. You tell me where she is and I won't kill you. I see. And if I say no? Oh, well, if you don't tell me, then I'll kill you. I suppose that doesn't make things nice and simple, doesn't it? So that's what you're getting at. You've been trying to make a fool of me this entire time, haven't you? Right now? With the way things are going? Are you just so scared that you completely snapped? You're getting on my nerves. Talk smack to me one more time and I'm seriously going to kill you. Princess. Huh. It's Princess Selphine, you disrespectful brat. Ritona has been trying to play cool and collected, but there's a slight rage in her eyes. I don't know what you wish to accomplish by attacking the royal family, but to address the princess of a country that way shows a complete and utter lack of respect. Such brazen behavior shows that you lack in morals as well. What? Enough talk. Have at you! You'll only steer us into conflict regardless, so let me teach you rules of my own. Didn't you hear a single word I said? What? You want to fight me at a time like this? Or what? Just because you're a duel, you think you can take anyone on? Are you an idiot? Do you have absolutely no common sense at all? A title like that doesn't mean squat outside of the Alliance. On guard! Whoa. No. Is that glass? A glass sword? You really expect to fight me with one of those? Glass is awesome, man. It was the best armor set in Oblivion. Or Skyrim. So it is. What of it? You're nothing but a glass worker, an artisan crafter. You seriously think you can put up a fight with me? Enough, you little brat. You're nothing but talk. I swear, you've called me a little brat again and again. Stop treating me like a kid or you're gonna get what's coming to you. Why isn't she attacking? Is she stalling for time? Hell if I know who you are, but I don't have the time to deal with the likes of some stupid artisan crafter. Ooh, magic? Huh? A ranged attack, so she's a battle crafter. I'll kill you with a single hit. Die! Triangle? Incineration! Is Coco just Megumin? Bless. In a split second, a column of fire pours out from the triangle towards the ceiling. Too slow. Ritona circles around to Coco's rear and makes contact with Coco's back. Gah! In the next moment, Coco dashes away with all her might, trying to put as much distance between her and Ritona. She quickly checks her back to assess the wound, but it isn't cut. The sensation of her spine getting sliced in two slowly fades away. Well, that's slightly terrifying. What just... Coco understood that very moment. Ritona's sword isn't some decoration or a fake weapon. It is in fact a real weapon, a strange and highly dangerous one. Transidian. Superglass? Glass 2.0? That's what this sword is made out of. Transidian. It's a material said to hold the sharpest edge in the entire world. Of course I know that. But the way Transidian breaks off is too uncontrollable. They say it's too dangerous and impossible to forge into weaponry. Only if it's naturally occurring. So it's manufactured Transidian. But I've already applied some level of processing to the Transidian I create. I can freely control this material. Are you stupid? If you can make something as complex as Transidian, why don't you just stick something tougher and easier? Why don't you just stick to something tougher and easier like metal? Huh, metal glass, as long as it can cut through anything, then who cares? You're making even less sense now. Hell, why is some artisan like you even fighting with a sword in the first place? You still haven't realized. A little slow on the uptake, I see. I'm a battle crafter. She's getting close. Need to keep my distance. Shadow soldiers. Shadow from the staff stretched and dark silhouettes of soldiers began to crawl out from the ground. 3, 4 of them. Suddenly Ritona was surrounded on all sides. What, the shadow soldiers? You can summon them at will? So she's the one who created the shadow soldiers who attacked the castle. Careful everyone, that grows really fast and her sword is super sharp. And don't get anywhere near the commit area. Coco then raised her staff, generating what seemed to be waves of mana in the air. The mana glowed in the air that went straight to the Dark Soldier's hands. Pyro, Terra, Forge, Chains. She again knocks her staff against the ground twice, causing the glowing mana that had been floating in the air to materialize into chains. First, I'm going to tie you down. Now, now you're trapped. You and your stupid acrobatics. This is the end for you. Coco and the Shadow Soldiers had Ritona tied up in chains, surrounded, and then Pentagram Incineration. Coco using her staff and the soldiers using their jet black swords all slammed the ground at once. Small glowing points appeared with light racing across them to draw a large pentagram beneath Ritona's feet. Bless. The pillar of light disperses. A triangular burn mark was on the ceiling. Beside it was a much larger star-shaped hole with the night sky and full moon in full view shining brightly. Aha! Ha ha ha! I burnt her into nothing but ashes. The Shadow Soldiers didn't budge a single inch, leaving her perplexed. Then she realized. Just so you know. Depending on how you handle Transidian, you can even cut through steel. I mean, it's the sharpest material in the world, right? The Shadow Soldiers are vanishing, which means that as long as you can cut them down, then you can still defeat them. No way. Some kind of glass that lets you cut through steel? That's cheating! Something doesn't add up here. You're no battlecrafter, are you? Your triangle and pentagram attacks certainly weren't lacking in power, especially the second one. Had I taken the brunt of the blast, I'd likely be nothing more than ash by now. But the activation you're blessed takes far too long. Anything that takes that long will be completely unusable for battle, no matter how strong it is. Your style of fighting at a distance, why do you persist with such strange tactics? Oh, shut up. If it works, then who cares? Damn it. Her hand gripping her staff begins to quiver, frustrated at the turn of events. Why is someone this strong just wandering the castle? Well, in any case, I suppose you understand now that you have no chance of winning. I am not at all disposed to fighting. If at all possible, I prefer to settle conflicts with dialogue, but are you going to listen? The feeling of the sword slowly fades away. Hwah! Coco was flabbergasted at Ritona's disappointment of a statement. Then, you're something else, you know that. Coco realizes something, that she had the upper hand, that Ritona would ultimately not attack her. She sneers at Ritona's invitation. Coco uses all her might, striking Ritona with her staff. We make a complete mess of your country, your hometown. And you want to talk? Are you a freaking moron? Indeed. This is not the time or the place to exercise Rughzenahide's pacifist views. Ritona understood that clearly. She could more than easily have taken Coco's head if she wanted to. Even after getting to her back twice, not once did she attack. Ritona herself had resisted the urge to take her life. The overwhelming difference in their strength was absolutely meaningless in the face of Ritona's greatest weakness. You have nothing on me. When it comes to combat, I'm clearly head and shoulders above you. And here you are, still struggling desperately against me. Who's the fool now? This is seriously pissing me off. You think you're so high and mighty. You're telling the person who killed your friends, your comrades, that you just want to talk? Hey, tell me. Is it so wrong to take a life if it means protecting someone you can't live without? What? Hey, answer me. What's the difference between me and you? For just a moment. Ritona was shaken for a moment by Coco's ruse. Oh, she wasn't the type to make that kind of mistake. Not in the slightest. Unbelievable. Indeed. Even if Ritona had no intent of taking someone's life, she would never slip and let her attention waver from the battle. Someone must have been toying with her from that moment. Someone right behind her. Commit breaker. No, not the sword. The sword in Ritona's hand scatters into tiny fragments. The commit. Did the ratio and mana change all of a sudden? When? Let me introduce you. This is my partner on the battlefield, Miss Marichelle. Just yo. New shadow soldiers. Yes. New soldiers. Balance is bad. I'm sorry. Why you? What did you just do? Destroyed? Commit? Commit breaker? Don't be absurd. The moment Ritona understands the current situation, she shudders. Coco's crafty are powerful, but take a while to bless, and a partner who compensates for that. The perfect combination. She will get killed because she took too long, because even when given the chance, she didn't kill Coco. Milady, please get down on the ground. What? She's been hiding the entire time? Oh, okay. On Ritona's signal, the glass wall on the edge of the room shatters. So cute. She's so cute. Glass which bent light and served as an optical camouflage. Selphine now had been hiding the entire time, and now she was exposed. Huh? Selphine? So fast. What's with the mana here? Maybe this is shift? Huh? A shift? Selphine, please close your eyes for a moment. A vortex of wind envelops Ritona and Selphine. Coco, get out, now! The next moment... What? Just what? What the heck just... They vanished? I don't think I can keep reading like this. It's too much. A forest. Ooh, the background's moving. What about the cast? Everyone. Having been the last stages, the townspeople and soldiers might all be done for now. Ooh. Going for the cute princess? I get it. Is the king dead? Far too many unknowns. Mary Shadow. Two are better than one. What should we do? Using teleportation magic without a destination seems dangerous. Just what is happening? That's a good question. Uh-oh, is she gonna pass out? No? Is there some downside to this? Girl of glass. No. Interesting. Sarah.